Hey guys, happy full moon to everybody. Alright, I am going to attempt to use my new device to do this reading. So I'm going to film a little bit of me and then do the full moon reading live for you. Alright, so I want to speak a little bit about the full moon first. What to expect, what are we dealing with, what's going on, and this is not a discussion about what a Sagittarian is or the traits of Sagittarians. I am not an astrologer, and also I'm an intuitive reader mostly, so very, very rarely will I actually refer to any books or anything like that. All right, so what I'll do today is pick which cards we're going to use for the reading, what I intuitively am drawn to use, and then I will let the cards come out as they come out, and I will do an impromptu reading so you guys can see how I usually do a reading. Okay, because sometimes it's already set out and then that doesn't really give you a feel of how it goes. Full moon in Sagittarius. This is a very exciting time as far as I'm concerned with regards to the shifts of energies, things that we've been working on, that we've been struggling with, that we feel like we've just been wading through this thick, thick mud and trying to just get through it. And a lot of us are starting to see results. We're starting to see results in maybe shifting the work that you do, maybe the relationships you're in, as well as family relationships. You know, a lot of people are having like epiphanies of ideas that they're coming up with. So there's new business ideas, there's new ideas on how to resolve issues in family dilemmas or relationship dilemmas. There is a fresh energy coming in, and I think everybody can feel it. And there's a sense of, it's almost like excitement but anxiety at the same time. So you're not exactly sure how to feel. You like sort of feel something's coming, and then some days you doubt and you think, well, is it something good? Hello, Peanut. Have your 15 seconds of fame. All right. They like to be around here when I work with stuff like this. Okay, so this is all about stuff changing. This is about literally the stuff that you've been working on and your dreams for certain things coming true. It's about manifestation. We've been talking about that ad nauseum, but you're going to start seeing the things that you've been working on and you've been wanting to manifest actually come to fruition. Some people are going to have wonderful surprises. They're going to get that job they want. They're going to get that partnership they want. They're going to get that car they want. They're going to get whatever it is that they've been working on. And if you've been consciously, mindfully manifesting and working on yourself as well, because relationship issues, 90% of them are working on yourself. And the minute you have that sense of self and the self love and everything that comes with it, as cheesy as it sounds, that's when you start attracting that stuff, and people are beginning to learn this and see it. And hey, if I look after myself and I do some self-care, this is okay. And learning that self-care isn't selfish, we've spoken about that already before. So all of this is coming to the fore, and people are starting to see results, and they get ideas. They'll just sit there, and if you're doing more things like meditation, that kind of thing, you're getting ideas when you meditate and when you sit with yourself and you're thinking, hey, you know what, I'm actually full of ideas, I'm full of abundance, I'm full of opportunities and excitement for things that are possibilities and are now becoming reality. So this is what a lot of people are seeing, and I'd love to hear in the comments if you are experiencing anything like this. I personally experienced a little miracle of my own yesterday. This is literally people, things that you never imagined would ever happen, or you kept saying to yourself, really, that situation has been like that and so stagnant for so many years, it's just never going to change. And perhaps in the last couple of months, you've sort of thought, well, you know what, the possibility is there, things are looking as if it could lean towards that, or maybe there's a glimmer of hope, and all of a sudden you start trying to manifest it or take a small step towards it, and things just start happening. And you have these little miracles and these little occurrences, and you're like, wow, that's impossible. This was never going to happen. It's been 10, 15, 20 years. This was a given that this was never going to change. But it was your mindset, and it was what changed. What changed? Your mindset changed, and you opened yourself up to these possibilities. And that may have been through your spirituality, meditation, working with somebody like me, perhaps, watching a video like this, whatever. There was that little something that hit your subconscious, and your subconscious started thinking, okay, wait a minute, this is possible. And the more you tell yourself, your self-conscious, I keep wanting to say that, your subconscious, what you wanted to know or what you wanted to think, it doesn't know the difference between the truth and a lie. So it starts manifesting this and believing it. And this is how you make things happen. So it's actually quite a simple tactic and something very, very easy to do. But that's basically how it works and how manifestation works. And you keep repeating and reiterating the things that you want and believing them and making yourself believe that this is not unattainable. It's not impossible. And the more you reinforce that idea, the more it will happen and it will come to fruition. Okay, so right now, we spoke last time, I think, about planning for the future, getting a strategy, having an action plan, and this is, we sort of getting to those end stages of that. So today in specific is not the day where you want to really jump and do it. Today is the final kind of stretch before you start taking action. Go over your stuff one more time. Say, is this what I want to do? Let me meditate one more time. Let me ask the universe again, or God, or source energy, whatever you believe or are into. Let me ask again if there's anything else, if there are any fresh ideas that are coming in. I got a new idea this morning for something that I want to do. So it's really, really wonderful. All of that is open. You must remember also, when it's full moon or new moon, the moon governs our emotions. It governs that excitement, that, sense of opportunity and euphoria, all of the positive stuff. And full moon is when you can literally manifest, when things are at their fullest. Our emotions are also at their fullest, and sometimes we can be a little bit erratic and even act out of the ordinary, where we think, what's going on here? This is not my normal behavior. But that's a good thing. That's also energy that is shifting. It's stuff that's moving around. It's something different. So that's exactly what we need to embody. You need to also remember that this is you moving closer to being yourself. If you're going into a job that truly calls to you, it is a true calling, it's something that you really, really love doing. This is you being yourself. This is you getting closer to who you truly are. And you need to embody and embrace that. And you need to let go. And you need to let go of the perception that it matters what other people think of you. It doesn't matter what other people think of you. Everyone should be on their own journey. We should not be in this mindset where we are so concerned with what other people are doing. How many friends do I have on Facebook? How many likes do I have? How many likes does that person have? How many followers do they have on Instagram? And you might think I sound hypocritical here, but you are welcome to go and look. I don't have many followers on Instagram or Facebook on my pages. For me, it's quality over quantity. Who's watching? Are they getting value out of it? If I'm doing something constructive and I am working with purpose, then I'm serving a purpose. And if it's only one person that I initiate something with or inspire to do something in that whole week, that's fine. I've made a difference in one person's life. But I don't concern myself with what everybody else is doing. I concern myself with, what am I doing? What am I doing to improve my path? What am I doing to bring abundance in for my family and the people that I know? How do I do my work so to make them more abundant? And how am I okay with being abundant so that I can use that abundance to help other people? That's the mindset we need to be in, not what is everyone else doing. Oh, let's hate on that guy because he makes more money than I do. Let's hate on that guy because he's got 5,000 followers. He's maybe paid for them. It happens, so don't have the mindset that everything you do is comparable to somebody else. All right, be yourself, embrace who you are, embrace how weird you are. That's what makes you an individual. You will have a special talent and something that you love, that you find creative, that nobody else can do. And you need to find that thing. And you need to embrace it. And you need to be yourself. And you need to let go and say, well, the right people will be drawn to me, will resonate with me, will endorse what I do, will support me. And that's all I need to know. When you really embrace yourself and your sense of self, you will have people that you lose. Okay, the people that don't support, the people that are haters or are don't aren't really there for you and were there for the wrong reasons, perhaps, they will start falling away. And I'm sure you've experienced this in the past couple of months. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent here and sending out some info that obviously some of you need to hear. Um, so, getting back to the planning, finish the last steps of your planning. And if you've really been working on something, start taking action. If you are working on traveling is a big thing now. People are moving. Not only are your energy shifting, but people are physically shifting. They're physically moving from one place to another. Couples that are living in different countries are merging together. There is a shift. People are maybe moving into a new house because they're starting a family, whatever the case is. But you need to, number one, be okay with it and embrace it. Other people's opinion doesn't matter, and you need to plan your freedom. I was actually going to call this video that today when I was making my notes. I did very short notes, they're literally keywords. Um, you should still be planning your freedom. These are the last stages of you planning your freedom. And I was going to call it planning your freedom because that's exactly what it is. And it's not freedom as we know it, it's on a whole new level. This is you bringing in abundance and bringing in what you would see as heaven on earth if you could really fulfill your dreams and do the perfect job or meet the perfect partner or buy that car that you've been dreaming about for years. That is what it's all about. It's telling you these are the possibilities. And new moon is always a good time to make a list of what you want to get rid of in your life, what no longer serves you, and what you want to bring in. What do I want to bring in? What do I want? What do I truly want? What resonates with me? Excuse me. Okay, so here are my keywords. Let's not mess around. We have to embrace the fact that stuff changes, and we want that to change. You never, ever, ever want stagnation in your life. Human beings are meant to change. Our environment is meant to change. We are meant to change and grow. That's the purpose of our mission here. You're not here to be a Stepford wife and stay in your little corner your whole life and never go anywhere, never see anything, never experience anything, never meet other people or see other countries. That's not living. You have come into this state of being to experience living, to experience life, and that's what it's about. And you need to set the course for what do you want to experience. Let me spend the money, the abundance that I get on experiences, even if it's not a lot. If it's taking a bus ride to somewhere, to the next town, if you don't have a lot of money at the moment, and saying, this is me beginning it, this is me showing the universe my intention to travel, to see more places. Maybe you meet someone there and you get a job there, and it's a better paying job, which allows you to travel even more. The minute you send a signal out to the universe of what you want and what you want to move towards, it will start helping you with that. So take the tiniest step. You don't have to afford an expensive ticket to go to Istanbul for a month. Take that bus trip to the next town. Start moving. Show with the tiniest bit of intent in what direction you would like to go. And you'll see how everything starts moving in your direction. Just show it your intent. Just say, this is what I want to do. I need more of this to follow. And you may get a very nice surprise. Okay, so miracles, surprises, awakening. I'm sure these words all resonate with some of you. Progress, shifts. And I want to just talk about the big picture before I start. You need to think big. These limiting belief systems that we have about, I will never leave my town that I live in, and reinforcing things like, things that we may be told, like, oh, our family's always lived in this town, we will always live here, we always have, we always will. This is what you're meant to do. You are meant to live in this town forever. If that's not what you feel you're meant to do, then you're not meant to do it. Think big, think out of the box, and don't just think, well, maybe I'll move to the next town. What about the next country, the next continent? Or just traveling around? Do you want to be a little bit nomadic for a couple of years? What is your mission? What is your true purpose? What do you want to do? Think big. Don't limit yourself or say, I really wish I could make $100 this month. Start like that, by all means. But then say, Okay, I made $100 last month because I put the intent out there. Let me try and make $1,000 this month. And keep pushing yourself. And slowly, the minute you see, oh, I can do $100, oh, I can do $1,000, you start gaining confidence in yourself and your ability to manifest. And you know you can do 1,000. Now you're going to try 2,000 or 10,000. You get it right. Okay. And then that's how you get to the point where you're actually limitless. And don't ever forget to be grateful. Don't ever forget to send out the gratitude. Okay. And finally, healing yourself. All right. And I don't mean becoming a guru and trying to heal yourself. I'm talking about healing issues within yourself, things that we don't want to face about ourselves, usually things that we don't like to show the world, attributes of our personalities we don't like. We need to work on that. We need to own up and say, yes, I was a shitty person. I need to fix that. Or I was really mean to that person. I need to fix that. Even if you never see that person again and it's not possible for you to maybe apologize, you say, I'm going to have changed behavior because I know that that had repercussions. And guess who carries that stuff around? You. Unless you're a psychopath and you have no remorse, which I find hard to believe if you're watching this video. All right, so you need to work on stimulating ideas that are coming in. Take the time to sit quietly and ask for them. You need to focus on traveling. And if it's not physical travel, moving forward in your life, doing something different, do a different exercise. Ah, come on, dude. Do a different exercise, read a different type of book, meet new people, whatever it feels you feel it is that you need to do. Learn something new. And learning doesn't have to be reading. You could watch a video like this. You could watch anything that you like on a YouTube video if you don't like reading, or you could go to a class of some sort, or you could ask a friend about something and learn something from somebody else. Go and sit at a mall and watch people. But that could give you an idea. But open yourself up to new things. You need to move or travel in some way, shape, or form. If you want to do astral traveling and go into the whole spiritual thing, do it. Take that step. If this is what you've been waiting to hear, to know that this now is time, then there it is. All right. And positive energy all the time. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Like the little engine. Not I can't because you keep telling your subconscious that. Your subconscious believes whatever you tell it. If you're telling it, I can't do this, I can't apply for that job because I don't think they want me, try. I can't do this because I'm too short. Those are your perceptions of yourself. Your character and your spirit and your soul. That's what people see when they meet you and they perceive you for the first time, especially people who are becoming more spiritually evolved now. They don't just see you as your physical self anymore. They are starting to pick up vibrations and energy from you. And when you walk in and you've got a shitty personality, they're going to say, this person's got a shitty personality. You can be pretty on the outside. Peanut, you cannot do this to me. Say hi and let's get over ourselves. Okay, my boy. Pardon me. 1 minute. Let me let him out of here. Come, books. Okay. All right. That is about all I have to say about that. Be yourself. Let yourself think out of the box. Let yourself see the big picture. Let yourself, put yourself in a movie if you have to. And the most fantastic movie that is so out there that anything is possible. Like when you're in the dream state, do that for yourself. And say, what would I really love? What do I really want to do? And that is what you need to start working on. That's what you need to take tiny steps towards, to show the universe your intent. If you want to go on a big trip, put that first couple of dollars away or pounds or whatever and say, this is my intent. This is the first little bit of money I'm putting towards that ticket. And ask, please show me how I can afford it. That's a good question to ask when you need to work with money. Ask the universe or your guides, your guardians, whatever, please show me how I can afford it. And they will. You're going to work but they'll show you how you can do it. Okay, so let us get cracking. I'm going to move this down a bit so that you guys can actually see what's going on here. Alright, and I'm just going to have a sip of something. So now that Peanut's made his debut appearance, we can get down to business. I'm going to do this as one of the last ones. Okay, let us do today. I have Isis Oracle. I do feel like I like pulling those, especially for full moon, because that is just so connected to the moon. I like the Stacey DeMarco Goddesses and Sirens. Yes, let's do that as well. I always like to use Mermaids and Dolphins. We're going to do some Earth Wisdom today as well. And I'm feeling like I should actually do like 4 or 5 and pick one of each for each section, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm going to ask which of these they would like me to use and what they're going to throw out for us for all of these, alright? And then Spirit Oracle always gives me a little bit of good advice as well, this one, which I use often. Okay, so let's do it. I will ask that we get given whatever we're meant to be given from each of these. Let's start with the big packs first. And I'm going to keep this an oracle reading. I was going to use some tarot as well, but I don't think that's necessary. We've got more than enough here as well. Okay, so Isis Oracle first. You'll have to bear with me while I shuffle all of them and do my thing, because I want this to be as impromptu as possible and authentic as possible, so you guys can see what's going on. It is a holiday here, so please excuse me if there's noise in the background. I actually wanted to do this outside, and when I went outside, we had all the kids from the neighborhood out, and then the guy was fixing his motorbike, and I just knew this was not going to happen. Okay, let's not show you the cards. Alright, so which cards are applicable for today's full moon in Sagittarius, please? What message do you have for the people, the collective? Oh wow, okay. This is going to be interesting. These cards are very, very deep. If you're really already quite into the spiritual stuff, like, you know, astral travel, kundalini, heavy types of yoga, all of that kind of thing, and you do like spiritual rituals and stuff, this is the dig for you. It gets quite deep. Whoops, we are not going to be having all of those. Okay. I think that's all for that. Is there one more? Let's do 3 more shuffles. No, we're done with these. Okay. Spirit Oracle almost snuck away. Okay, so what do we have here? We have Divine Sisterhood. This is interesting. This is about the collective community of spiritual sisters and brothers of light. Alright, so this is just saying to me that we are moving as a collective. There is so much stuff happening as a collective, as humanity in general. And I've been talking about this energy shift that happened globally for a long time, for months and months and months now. And there has been a global energy shift. And this is saying to me that everybody's feeling this. To some extent, on some level, everybody has been feeling these changes coming. They are feeling shifts in themselves, in the energy around them. And we're feeling it as a collective, and everyone's sort of thinking, why are we watching all of these videos together, and why does this make sense to everybody, and why are we all talking about the same thing and moving in the same direction? It's because there is a collective consciousness, and over the past couple of decades, we have been individualized and segregated, and certain things have been put in place that divide us even more. So this collective consciousness has been forgotten, and now all of a sudden we're realizing, hey, there's something going on here that's on a level different to the physical. Okay, this is interesting. Healing the divine masculine. This is beautiful, actually. We talk about the divine masculine and the divine feminine so much when we do the sacred union or the twin flame readings and stuff, and the balance of the energies. You must remember, this does not mean physically male or female, it's divine masculine or feminine. So this is beside the point when it comes to twin flames. The masculine energy is expansive and giving. The feminine energy is like nurturing and loving and, comforting. So if you have got an imbalance with your masculinity or your masculine energy, even as a woman or a man, or if you feel, I'm ashamed to be a man because men are ostracized because they're physically abusive to women, if any of that kind of thing happens in your life and you feel ashamed of being a man, or some of the manly things you do, or you don't think you should be as physical, or what is the word I'm looking for, as forceful as you are sometimes in certain ways, as long as it is not damaging to another human being, it is perfectly healthy, and it's healthy for women to express that to some extent as well. All right, so the stigma that's attached to being ashamed of being a man because of all the imbalances we have, you shouldn't be ashamed to be female. You shouldn't be ashamed to be male. You shouldn't be ashamed to be whatever you are or whoever you are. That's what I was talking about when I said being yourself. And men lately, because there's been so much female activism and all of that kind of thing, they're getting to a point where they're ashamed to be male sometimes, because they all get painted with the same brush. And some females feel the same too. They feel that they have been oppressed and hurt, but taking anything to an extreme is unhealthy. We have to always remember to keep the balance. This is also for women who have to stand in their power. Do you see the woman in the background? She's standing in her power. When you feel strong, when you're assertive, when you stand in your power, you are getting in touch with your masculinity as well. We do have a masculine and a feminine side, and it's okay to be strong as long as you do not abuse that strength. It's okay to be powerful. Use your power in the right ways to benefit yourself and to help others. That's being in your power. All right. So this is a beautiful card, actually. It's Osiris Rises or Osiris Rises, however you pronounce his name. And without his Isis actually resurrecting him, if you know the story, he wouldn't be around anymore. But he actually was empowered by her resurrecting him and became the god of the underworld. So it's quite an interesting story. But healing the divine masculine, closing off on this. Like I said, this energy is expansive and giving. If you don't identify it or identify with it, you affect your own expansiveness of the universe. The universe will seem like it is not giving and like it is not expansive, and this will affect your abundance. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Being out of balance with your masculine and your feminine energies affect your abundance. It affects why you think you have such bad luck in your life, or why you think you never have money, because you block yourself off to these fundamental energies. They're not about being a man or a woman. It's about expansiveness and giving and nurturing and caring. And if you block yourself off to any of these energies, and there's an imbalance somewhere, you block yourself off to abundance and manifestation. So if you have an issue with expansiveness or being in your power, or the power someone else has, and it frightens you and you haven't done something about it, if you're not comfortable with masculinity or how it is, how it takes shape and form in your life, You need to work on it because you are blocking yourself off from the expansiveness and the giving that the universe is trying to give you. That might be a bit confusing right now, but for some of you, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And for others of you, look at the very, very basic fundamentals of what masculine and feminine energy is. What are the basic principles? And see what you're blocking yourself off from. Because that is blocking certain things in your life on a much deeper level. Okay. All right, the power of 7 scorpions. I love this. This is the power to conjure lower vibrational forces. What that means is it's the same thing as this, standing in your power. If something is a low vibrational force, it's something that is negative behavior or negative energy, something that you battle with. Maybe it's an addiction, maybe it's someone in your life who's very forceful and overpowering, and you need to take your power back. Maybe it's something about yourself that you don't like, that you have to overcome. But this is you balancing your energies on every level. If you look at the system of the chakras as well, everything has a specific type of energy in relation to your everyday life. So you may have issues with money, you may have issues with your health, you may have issues with feeling more connected, you may have issues with fear, you may have issues with food. All of them are related to the energy centers in your body, and there is sometimes a physical manifestation of what's going on inside of you. And this is about overcoming these fears, standing your power. And maybe this is what you need to put on your list for the full moon, things you want to get rid of and things you want to bring into your life. I want to get rid of such and such an addiction, or I want to bring this into my life. You need to get power over the low vibrational energies in your life, whether it's you speaking badly to yourself or to other people, or negative behavior, or a negative person you have at work. You need to gain power over them. You need to know that you can overcome it. And it doesn't mean by doing it forceful, it means keeping the balance and coming from a place where you know that it's safe to stand in your power and it's safe to be powerful and you don't abuse the power. So if somebody is speaking to you badly, you can say to them, I don't need to listen to that, and I don't need you to speak to me. I have enough self-worth to not allow you to speak to me that way. This conversation is over. And smile and walk away. And if you've never done that before, they'll probably stand there with their mouths open and not have anything to say. But that's the kind of action you have to take. If you are allowing yourself to be abused, or you being abusive towards others, or to your body, or there's any kind of low vibrational stuff going on, it needs to be addressed. Okay, and you need to lovingly let go of it and say to it, okay, thank you. I actually recognize you as a low vibration, and I accept and acknowledge the lesson, and I'm releasing you now. There's actually a ritual you can do for power over 7 scorpions, which is really, really great. Some of my clients have used this, and I think it's worked quite well for them. Okay, and then the abundance of Sothis. Stellar blessings of the celestial goddess of